people are loving and caring inside and out. Really, they feel the pain that you feel too as well. That's what I think, you know.
I got a call this morning to say I got a job, I got my work permit, I got my daughter into daycare, and I can finally move on with my life.
I was on my low end of my wits. My car got totaled. I just lost my mother. Basically, my dad is brain damaged. I was like, what else is gonna happen next? I looked through the phone book, and I looked on the websites, and I just was calling around to different shelters, and I was like, God, please choose which one I should go to. There it was, Good Shepherd.
Where do you see yourself? Let's give me a 5-year plan.
Actually, I see myself upgrading a better future for me and my son. This is a new chapter in my life right now. This is another chapter in my life, me and my son. I'm focused on me and my son. That's all I can say.
Good afternoon. This is Cynthia DeLorenzi, and it's my pleasure to welcome you to our next episode of what used to be Pink Collar Perspectives, but actually we're stepping in today with a very special show for you. Our producer, MJ, asked me to come in and talk about a really important issue that's been affecting our community, and it may surprise you to learn a little bit about this. We're going to be talking about homelessness in and around our region, and we have a very special guest today. We have Vicki Koth, who is with the Good Shepherd Alliance, and we have Jack Dempsey who's going to share a little bit about experiences of homelessness here and around our area. And I'm so glad that you're taking the time to join us today, because we think about homelessness. We can go down to Washington, D.C. You can go to any major city in the world today and see examples of homelessness. But when you think about our area, homelessness here, is it really happening? Are you seeing a need to provide shelter for people?
Absolutely. We definitely are. That's one of the problems, is people put a face on homelessness and really don't open their mind and eyes to look around them at their neighbors and the problems that really do exist everywhere. The Good Shepherd Alliance provides emergency and transitional housing services for the homeless in our community.
So how long has the Good Shepherd Alliance been, and where is it located? Where's it headquartered, and how long has it been in existence?
Well, our headquarters are in Ashburn, Virginia, and we've been serving the homeless for 26 years in the community.
So is it your traditional homeless shelter that you see where people are lined up outside, or is it a little bit different now because we're more in what's considered a bedroom community, a suburban community? What does that look like?
Well, actually, we prefer to refer to our homes as just that. They're homes. We do have a very home-style atmosphere where, for instance, in our women and children's shelter, we usually have about 8 families, 8 women and about 12 children. And the house is large. There's 6 bedrooms, and most of them will say, you know, you just don't know there's that many people there. There's a large dining area, and frequently they eat together, and it's very, very home style.
Are you seeing greater numbers of men who are homeless or women who are homeless?
Well, there are a lot of both. In this county, there is a real lack of housing for men. That's presented a real challenge. We don't have a shelter for single men. We do have one for families that would be married couples and married couples with children. And recently the county has just opened up a men's shelter. We see a lot of single mothers, a lot of single mothers. About 50% of our residents have suffered some form of domestic violence and have fled that. And about 66% of our residents are children.
Are you working in conjunction with other agencies then to address these kinds of needs? Because I don't think it's just one or the other, and I think that that's a really important point. And I love what you said before, putting a face on homelessness. I think that's something that's really important to do, because I don't think it's necessarily what we think of as a drug dealer who's brought this up, maybe what we think maybe in an uncaring way that it brought them on their own life, but that these are just sometimes a matter of circumstance, especially in this economic time. Have you seen an increase in this economic time?
Yes, the demographic has changed quite a bit. We have always been overfull. In other words, last year we had 500 households calling for a bed night that we had to turn away, over 500.
That's incredible.
It was 940 individuals that needed a bed night, but we didn't have space. So being full is not a new thing, but the number of families, intact families that have been coming have been greatly increased.
That must put a strain on you and your staff and your team and your resources. How do you meet those kinds of needs?
Well, unfortunately, we can't. You know, the supply the demand outweighs the supply. We just can't do as much as we need, and that's why the community is so very important, because the only way to really reach everyone, and that's the hope, is by the community taking part, which they do. And when you asked about partner organizations, we absolutely have to work with each other. There are many organizations, the county government, and we work all together, trying to serve the demographic best we can without duplicating services, and trying to meet all the needs: childcare, transportation, counseling, medical and dental assistance. All those things are necessary for families to really be stable again.
Well, one thing we want to get to is that what we can do. I mean, what are your needs and what can we do? And I know that you have a benefit coming up, so I really want to be able to talk some about that I think it's an opportunity for us to look at how you can get involved as a community. And I love that we talked about that there were expansive needs. You've got thrift stores and all these other things. So let's talk about what you're doing there.
Well, we do have 3 thrift stores, and we do, like I said, we rely on the community. It's because of the donations of the community that we can operate our thrift stores, and when people shop there, those proceeds go back to support our programs, emergency and transitional housing, and also other programs that are for the community who may not be homeless, but preventing homelessness is another very important aspect of ending homelessness. So we do have other programs.
That's a great point, too. That's a really great point. Sometimes it's just like, we talk about taking care of yourself health-wise. Prevention is just as important, and I think in this case, and I'm glad you brought that up. What type of things can you do to help prevent getting to the point where you're homeless?
We have professional case managers that we have a very intensive case management program. We work with our guests to help them go from crisis to self-sufficiency, and we work on all different areas that may be a problem for them. Transportation's a big one, lack of child care. They might need job training, certainly job search assistance and housing assistance. But also, our case managers will counsel with people who don't need a home necessarily, but they're struggling to hang on. They can counsel them, provide them other resources, ones that we can provide, but also referring them to other organizations that can help them. We have a food pantry, and we do give away vouchers to our thrift stores to the needy. We get referrals from the public school system, from other organizations, and people who just come in and say, I really am in need of help.
Excellent. Well, I know you have a benefit coming up, and I wanted to talk a little bit about that. One, what a story this is, because James, you're actually helping with the benefit that's going to be coming up on November 14th. Tell us a little bit about it. It's your first benefit you've ever hosted in this area, correct?
It is the first of the concert event.
First
yes.
concert event. So tell me about it. Are we going to be dancing? Are we going to be singing? What are we going to be doing?
Oh, there's going to be music. There's going to be other acoustic event. There's going to be a live, plugged-in electric event with some local, well-known bands. My company, Dempsey's Talent, is providing some talent there, and as well as I will be singing as an ex-professional within the industry back in Las Vegas, where I'm from. I am proud to say that I will only sing for charity events, but the bands that are going to be there are going to be wonderful. There's going to be other things also, like silent auctions and other things that I'm aware of, but this is a wonderful event.
So it's going to be November 14th. It's going to be where?
At AVCOM in Dulles, Virginia.
Okay, never heard of AVCOM, but I think it sounds like, is it a big facility? Is it going to be?
It's an audiovisual facility.
Oh,
and,
excellent.
We should seat 500. So
interesting.
limited seating. So.
Limited seating. So I think it sounds like a great way to celebrate the holidays. Certainly more than any other time, I would think that there's greater need for providing food, shelter, all of the needs that you have. I want to thank you both so much for taking the time to come on and talk about this important topic. Give me 30-second last-minute thought you want to leave us with.
Well, I just hope that, my hope is that people will really take advantage of the opportunity to recognize the needs of those around them. Because sometimes what we have to offer is exactly what somebody else needs to receive. And we just need to keep our eyes and our ears open.
I love it. And James, what do you want to leave us with?
Well, this is a perfect opportunity to bring awareness to this cause, and I think it's very important. What they have to offer is strictly from my own opinion, I will say is absolutely amazing, getting people that are in need all the way to transition out to society with the tools that they need to survive.
I want to thank you both so much for taking time to share this important subject with us in our community and region. I think it's really important. I'm Cynthia DeLorenzi.
The people are loving and caring inside and out. They feel the pain that you feel too as well. That's what I think, you know.
I got a call this morning to say I got a job. I got my work permit. I got my daughter into daycare, and I can finally move on with my life.
I was on my low end of my wits. My car got totaled. I just lost my mother. Basically, my dad is brain damaged. I was like, what else is gonna happen next? I looked through the phone book, and I looked on the websites, and I just was calling around to different shelters, and I was like, God, please choose which one I should go to. There it was, Good Shepherd.
Where do you see yourself? Let's give me a 5-year plan.
Actually, I see myself upgrading a better future for me and my son. This is a new chapter in my life right now. This is another chapter in my life, me and my son. I'm focused on me and my son. That's all I can